Hello and welcome to the Table Talk Wednesdays here at the CDL Café, where leadership isn't just talked about, it's challenged. This isn't your typical leadership conversation. This is where we gather around the table every week to ask hard questions and put character back to the center of how we lead. Sometimes it's just us, the team, sharing real reflection, and sometimes we pull up an extra seat for a guest whose voice brings fresh perspective, bold insight, and lived experience to the table. Because around here, we believe leadership that isn't rooted in character won't last. Leadership that doesn't challenge the system won't change it. And leadership that's all image and no substance isn't leadership at all. So grab your coffee, lean in, and let's get into today's table talk. Let's go.
And today is a special day because we are having a special guest. I don't want to make this formal because, as you can see, we are sitting in a coffee shop and we are honored to have Mr. Amir with us on the table, having our coffee, relaxed, and we are ready to learn from his experience as a leader in his industry. And we are going to be talking about an important topic, or we are going to be asking a question that we always say is not going to make some people comfortable. It is uncomfortable because we are going to reveal things that are related to leadership. And the question goes like, can leadership reform a society? First of all, we want to thank you, Mr. Amir, for joining us on the table. And we hope that you are going to love the coffee, although every guest have his own coffee. Like, he brings coffee and come to sit with us on the table. We don't offer anything virtually. So, this is the question. And starting off, I want to ask you, when we say broken society, what does it bring to your mind? And when I say this, I want you to share the moment when you realized that there's something wrong that needs to be fixed in the realm of leadership. And this is an opportunity for you, Mr. Amir, to tell us more about yourself and share your story that is related to our question.
Thanks, Maki. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to this coffee place. I think so. More than the coffee, I prefer the people who are with me around the coffee. I think so. We have bright and I think so visionary people like Dr. Maki, Dr. Mackenzie, and obviously Atala. I know ladies' names come first, but I think so. I've just named it random. So Atala, don't feel bad. We're all at par. So the coffee is hot. You don't get hot. I think so. That's good. But I think so. Congratulations to everybody. I think so. Okay, my name is Amir Parpia. I'm calling out of Nairobi for almost 20 years, managing about across 11 sectors, mentoring people, understanding the dynamic shift in terms of what has happened. When I say BC, it's before COVID. What I say is BC nowadays, because we saw something what was there before COVID, which was very traditional, analog, and post-COVID we have got into the fourth or fifth industrial revolution where everybody started talking via virtually. The natural intelligence was replaced by artificial intelligence, and that is creating a lot of dilemmas. It's good to influence people by social medias and everything. So I've seen all these things happening. I keep mentoring people. I keep telling everybody across that it's very important that we need to have something mental happiness. And to have a mental happiness, it's something which you need to have is not to take pressure. And when you don't take pressure, you don't compare yourselves. And I would just like to start this on a very small example. I was meeting some people, and the first day when I went, I was wearing my t-shirt, jeans, and very casual. It was a Monday morning, 9 a.m. And I'd seen everybody had come because there was some business business owners, some distinguished people, and everybody was suited, booted, most formal. When they saw me, I was sitting with them. I came about half an hour early, just sitting and mingling with them. And they were looking at me, oh, like maybe he's one of the attendees or something like that. And I started mingling around. And once I went on the stage, everybody was shocked. I said I was able to tell them in a very polite manner that when you saw me, you think, what is this? You don't judge people. Don't take pressure why this is that and that is that. If you're confident in your attire, that's good, as long as you can express yourself. And that happens to your own character. Character is something where you should be happy as long as you can put good character to people out. So no matter how you look like. So coming to these things, as Dr. Maki said, that it's very important to understand that what changes are happening in the leadership now and human being. So for my understanding, the broken society is something that is delusion of something, trust or respect, or like I would say the values are disintegrating and everything. And obviously, when this happens, also there's a change. Why this is happening? Because of your upbringing. Maybe there's a background of pure education, financial issues, and lack of economic opportunities. And obviously, now we see there's a lot of fragmented families, migrated families, and everything. So, from my understanding, Doctor, broken society is all of these things. And also, competition is something where we break the society. Over to you.
Awesome. So I looked at like I saw something when I was looking at your profile, and I came to understand that you have within your mission a willing to try to mend the broken systems. So how do you do that from your area, from where you are right now? How are you doing this, or how are you planning to do this?
Yeah. So ideally, the first thing is when you're doing a mentorship or trying to be a leader, right? I think so first it's very important for a person to understand what is the core cause of it. Go to the root cause of it. Try to identify what is the problem, right? Understand where the problem is coming. So normally what do? I go to a background check, actually. So I do a background check when I say, okay, something is there, what's happening, right? We cannot go with symptoms. It's just example, somebody has a fever, you'll give a medication. But go behind why the fever has happened, because of travel or because of something or food or something. Once you're able to understand the root or the core cause of it, then you start looking for the next level is how you convince that person or the system to get mended its way. When you're saying broken system, it can be individual, a group of few people, or a family, or a community, or a society at large. It depends what we are looking at. It can be even an organization where there's bureaucracy there, so you have broken system, people don't trust. So it can be a personal thing, it can be professional things, it can be social things, it can be family thing. So I think so broken system is, and it can be a city or a country or world, whatever it is. It has its own thing. So it's very important to understand what it is. Now, for the next step, what I do normally, I try to understand once I've identified the symptoms or the cause and the symptoms, we try to work on it. And for us to work is something I need to build up the trust with that person. I need to go to that level to understand to that person I'm part of him. I'm not something superior to him. So he should not have any complex with me. It's very important you try to be friendly with him, try to create a rapport, build up that trust, and develop with him that, listen, we both are working to a common goal. And that's important. Once the trust is built, I think so. What my experience says, at least you have at least you know that you're on the momentum, because till that you're still having that building up of trust. I relate to as the dating things, right? When you're dating for the first time, you need to build up the trust and everything. Build up. once you start building the trust and everything, and you do it, it's some things where it's a process. It depends upon each type of cases what you handle. Most of the cases have been successful. Trying to see the various things, and because I'm a certified professional mediator as my one of my professional capacity, it's easy to understand the emotional equations of it. And in this thing, it's very important to be empathy with the people, right? To understand that they are going through certain challenges which they cannot say openly, or they have an issue as an individual, as a family, as a social community, or whatever it is. And that's important. Once you have that part, I think so. Well, that's important. And then you try to create a solution for the person, what the process would be. Once you start developing the solutions, try to, I would say, handle that person or the people or group so that they never left out in the group. And that's important. A classic example is, I will give an example on this one. Some people is having financial challenge with this. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm audible.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry. So thanks. So no, I was just taking a sip of coffee actually, so it's okay. So now the thing is, so I would give. I have so many examples. So there was one example where a person was not able to create business because of the person's financial illiteracy. So I sat with the people and they said, well, guys, you have to work on that part. Well, there were some challenges they had actually. I said, leave the challenges. Let's create multiple solution design. And slowly, we started building up the solutions. When you started building up the solutions, so I told him, you take a decision, I'll be with you. So they always had a strong pillar behind them. So every day you get a call. I'm doing these things. I mean, Mr. Parpia, I'm doing these things. Mr. Amir, I'm doing these things. I said, continue. So there was back and forth, but slowly, it happened. They were able to do it, right? And once they're done, doesn't mean the job is finished. That's time your job starts to ensure they maintain that momentum, because I've seen when people start to make money, there's always a voracious thing of spending money and flouting money, because obviously now you're in the big league. So that's important also, that you maintain. That's it. And when I'm doing these things, the broken system, I keep certain things, which is the character, as I mentioned before, and bit of faith. So once you have the character and bit of faith, that helps a lot of you in continuing your business or in whatever professional capacity you are in.
So, Dr. McKinsey.
Yes, sir.
What's your input on what Mr. Amir said? Like I've heard a lot of gems in what he shared with us today. In your area of expertise, what's your input?
Well, to answer the question, can leaders reform a broken society? Absolutely. We've seen it. But it takes a couple things. It takes a vision, it takes a strategy, and it takes a mindset in order for it to actually happen. And I'm going to use a Bible reference here, so pardon that, y'all. But in the Bible, it talks about Nehemiah. Nehemiah was charged with building a wall. The wall, Nehemiah did not build the wall. He had the people build the wall, and the people had a mind to build the wall. He had the vision. He was given the vision, the way in which to be able to build the wall. So he had to get the people to understand where they were going, and the ability to be able to get it done. That's how you reform and how you rebuild a society. You have to have a people that are willing to reform, first of all, or you'll be in constant chaos, which is what got you into the broken society in the first place. People have to get tired of being in a broken society, in a chaotic society. I call it chaos. We as people, unfortunately, in this day and time in society, not us here, of course, but they are addicted to chaos. They for whatever reason, people don't function too well outside of brokenness. Most people are walking around here broken, and they're walking around broken because they don't want to heal themselves. Same thing with our society. If we're going to heal if we're going to fix a broken society, we first have to understand how it needs to heal. So yes, and it's up to the leaders, those that have taken on that task, that title, that challenge, in order to be able to fix the society or to heal the society, to say, hey, here's our vision, here's the diagnosis, what we need to do, here's the plan for how we can do it, and then getting the people to say, you know what, yeah, I'm on board with that. Let's go to work. Let's do the work that's needed in order to be able to be a functioning society as opposed to a dysfunctional society any longer. So I think that's part of how that gets the ball rolling, so to speak. That I think that's where I think we are in. And Brother Amir has been, very astute in what he's been saying about what we need to do and how we move forward from this point on.
Atala, any input before I go?
Yes, I see several things. One is like I think that we cannot lead a broken society without arising our consciousness, because we cannot lead, our families either are already struggling, and maybe the leader is not trying to really kind of go to the root and say, what I am doing, how can I change this? We need to elevate consciousness, mindset, of course, healing, which I love it what it says, because when we don't heal, we cannot benefits the fruits of a relationship, of a staff, of a I don't know, a company, rising. And also I love the fact that Amir just mentioned, very human connected. When we build trust, that's the first thing. The healing also starts, because people will be able to really start not just becoming better staff, but better persons. So I love the in different areas, we can see that broken societies are everywhere, in families, in businesses, organizations, hospitals, you name it, right? But when we start really working in ourselves, be more conscious about how can I lead something that is not working, I don't have the results. That's why we need to really kind of go deep, although sometimes it will be hard to understand that we need something. And I really believe it starts from healing. That's to me the word that resonates.
Mm-hmm. So we're going back to the topic that we were talking about last week. You cannot lead people from wounds. So you need to heal first. And then we agreed, all of us, that we need to have the mindset and we need to have the vision. And we had all this illustrated by Mr. Amir's contribution to the question. So, Mr. Amir, I want to ask you in regard.
And I love also.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I want to back up also the faith, because when you have faith, to me, I would say it's God, but in your staff, in that they can, have better opportunities, that they can become better, human beings, better, workers, or whatever it is, you are transmitting that also confidence. Transmitting to people can achieve their success, personally, and also in business as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Mr. Amir, I want to ask you, with all what we have shared, where do you see character fits in?
I think so. Your question is more hot than the coffee, but it's good. But I think so. That's what is important, and you have just hit the nail on the head for everybody. I think so. As I said before, there's a dilution of character, not coffee. Sorry, there's dilution of character happening, right? And I can see Dr. Mackenzie also nodding his head, so it's good to see, right? And I think so. The main basic thing of character was, to my understanding, is family, your faith or religion or whatever. I don't want to cross that line of other side of spirituality, but yes, the more stronger are you have more character development. But I think that nowadays, people don't chase love, they chase lifestyle. And when you start chasing the lifestyle, you have, obviously, then you have your, how would I say, your vision, your strategies changes. That's important now, right? So if you take the social media, what we have now, people want to see how many followers they're having. That's it. What they put on the junk, I'm sorry, right? It's no harm, But we have seen this happening. People get influenced just because I say this place is good, or this food is good, or this stuff is good. People will just go and buy, and that's important. So I think so. Character is diluting now, and the only thing what we can save character is creating awareness, especially to across all the generations. I'm saying we have Gen Zs, we have Gen Alpha, now Beta is coming up very soon. And if we don't, how we say, if we don't transcend those things down the line, character, I think so, it's on a dilution thing. So it's very important. Character is very critical for anybody to be sustainable. And I think so once it's not sustainable, that's where the broken system comes, which affects the individual mindsets, the family or the loved and dear ones, the society, the community, the society, the government, and everything.
So what's your advice? If someone is watching, right, the people who are watching right now, and they want to know like how they can save character,
So I think
and start leading from character.
Yeah, sorry, I think so. I missed it. I should have covered that up. Sorry. So I think so. What is important for me once you see that your vision is not in line with your character, right? And I think so. Do a self-analysis, number one, or independent self-analysis. That what I'm doing is right or wrong. Take a setback. Take some few steps back. Think and how do you do it? And obviously, once you start doing these things, character evaluation, try to see what is the main aim, why this has happened, right? And as a human being, we know we have a limited life. We have limited life. The soul is eternal. That's something as a human being we know with some lot of faiths. I think so. How you can develop character is try to continue. I think so. Character cannot be developed in this terms of time, but also we should try to make sure that how would I say? I'm just trying to. This has crossed something. To develop a character would be something where it's a consistent, pursuing yourself what is has to be good, right? And you keep nurturing some basic, how say, qualities, virtues, or essentials like honesty, integrity, respects for everybody, and then you see what it is, right? When you're doing these things, you're not on the same side of the coin. Sometimes you might, just because I say hello, how are you, who are you, you'll have that a bit of rebirth depending how it is. But I think so that is important. And then normally what we have seen, the moment you lose character, you end up losing your civic sense. The moment you lose up civic sense, how to behave in a society and everything, and that's what is about. So I think so that's a summarize. I'm sure we have other people who can add something, but yes. And the other thing, just before I move this, the moment you engage into community service where there's a lot of, how we say, there's a lot of things to give for nothing in return, right? You will understand the essence of your character. Because if you help somebody for nothing in it return, right? There's no agenda, there's no selfish motive, or there's no motive, right? A classic example, when friends meet for a coffee, there's no motive, just let me have a talk and go. There's nothing, right? And then you start building up the rapport with that thing. So I think so that these are some of the things. I can go on and on, but I know that's something I can tell you. And obviously it's very important. You can ask, once you start developing, you ask your close ones, have you find changes in me? Or start reflecting your own self. See some role models which creates these things. I'm not saying which are the good role models and everything, and that's, I think so. It's something like you reflect, you change, reflect, change, get bettered, do community service, ask feedback from people. Yeah.
I love this. I mean, it all goes back to character. For us to build any broken system, it all goes back to character, awareness, and mental health, and so now you mentioned that ask those around you if they felt any change, or what would you tell the people who had been feeding their ego for years? I'm sure you met a lot of people who fed their ego for years, and they think that these things are theories. What would you tell them?
Guys, you're not immortal. Full stop. Like that. You're not immortal. Everybody has an end, right? But I think so. Yes, there's a lot of people we have seen globally. They keep feeding egos for a long time, correct? But then what do we do? I think so. It's some things because they're feeding egos. Why? Because of power, money, whatever it's association, right? Right. Now, how would I say? I'm just trying to get a better word, actually. So I think so. That's what reflection is all about. Try to convince it. Try to create something. Community service one. The other one would be something. Create a self-awareness, guys. You have collected so much money, right? And obviously, we have seen in the past there are a lot of examples that couple of years, decades, centuries, or whatever it is, right? There were kings and queens and everything. They had money. We don't know where the monies have gone, right? Where something is there, right? So it's important they validate themselves, create that human approach, practice empathy with a lot of gratitude. And obviously, if you want to bring certain aspect of faith or religion, I think so that should be the one of that, right? Because normally when you have the bloated ego ones, which I call them the bloated ego ones, which is keep on bloating and bloating because the gas keeps building up. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy at any game. But sometimes at least the greed to expand reduces or sustains to a certain level. It can never erode. So there's always something, because I've met some people globally where they're making money and they're giving the money to the poor. But obviously, the process of having a bloated ego and covering your ego by giving some piece of charity doesn't levels up. There's always an ego getting over the thing. Yeah.
I am totally agree about what.
Thanks, Atala.
Because it's true. If you think about it, there's so many ways to live, and the ego, that's what you can see in everything that is happening, even in social media, in the news, in everything, because that's what catches the attention. You can see leaders showing up from the, materialistic thing, like the big house, the, Maserati, all those things, but because that's also what people are in that kind of desire, a level of desire, ego. So it sells. It also, people follow that. And you can see in social media very easily. At the same time, it's true, you can use it to promote something good for humanity, to help charities, So that's two different things. But also, I think it's important to understand that it depends also how the leader, how is living, what is the desire, that behind that leader, it could be control, it could be pain, it could be envy, it could be, that empathy. There are so many different levels of a desire that a leader can express wrongly, right? Into the corporation, into the family, into their staff. So once again, it's like addressing that level of consciousness to really identify how I am leading purpose, but also how I am, really, really touching people's lives. If you can touch a people's life from ego, but maybe that person elevates his consciousness, that's it, right?
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I fully agree. Sorry.
Awesome.
I just messaged something.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mackenzie, go ahead.
Yeah, it's on point. It's on point. I want you to highlight on this, what you just messaged. People need to hear this.
Okay, so I create my own something. It happens to, right? I created. So I think so. It's EGO means edging God out. That's things, or edging good out. You decide what your faith-based. So when you have a faith-based person, you said when you remove God from yourself, you get the evil part of you. right? And when we have evil, there's nothing apart that what we have, the jealousy, the lust, the greed, the everything, cravings and everything, right? So everything comes out for that one. So I think so ego literally means to me is edging good out of you or edging God out of you. Once you remove this goodness from you, right, it will happen. So even if you go to a lion, he won't eat you if he's full. He will leave you because he's content. He's contented. He's not satisfied. Yes, we tend to eat to please people. We are never contented. Right? So sometimes, a classic example, somebody wants to buy a car. I bought a car. After 4 years, you buy a new car, or 5 years, depending which part of the world you are. You got a phone, you got a new phone, you have a house. And if you see the human mentality, I think so, we all are blamed to it. Take example of a person between 20 to 30, the man is working hard, doing studies and everything. And from 30, maybe he's got married, he's settled his life. Now he wants to build up the family. So obviously you have kids coming up and everything. When you come up the kids and everything, he needs to be more sustainable to take care of the educations of the kids and sustainability, his post-retirement plans and everything. Once you start building him, the family, I'm not saying as a man or a woman, the family has its own objectives, has its own vision, dreams, going on holidays, giving the best lifestyle to the kids, to the family around and everything. And that's what I presume that's the right risk. That risk come from because you're dealing with your colleagues, you're dealing with your peers, you're dealing people around what you do, what you're earning, what phone are you using, what clothes are you wearing, and that's what the things come. So now what happens? I think so before people get old, the house gets old. What's the people getting old? What's the old age, guys? 60 years? Isn't it? After 60 is old, like I'm just giving some 50, 60, 70. The house gets old after 20 years. You know why? The kids move out for education. Right? Because your house is your place where the family resides. Right? Isn't it? So even if you take a house when your kids were not born, but for the kids, that starts with zero. Assuming you have not changed any house, you have been staying in a good house, which is palatial, you have all the amenities. By 25, by 20 maybe, the people have moved universities. Because of this social village coming up, people commute. They have become, what you say, wanderlust. They want to travel, they want to enjoy life because I think so presently there are two mottos they have, YOLO and FOMO. You only live once and fear of missing out. That's what people say, oh, you only live once, I want to experience. Go at the age of 20 because they want to explore things, they want to travel, they want to have a solo dates, they want to go as a friendly trips and everything, right? And they have presently the situation is all about YOLO and FOMO, right? And we have TMI. So it's YOLO is you only live once, FOMO is fear of missing out, and TMI is too much information. And that's what is creating a lot of things because today you have so much social media happening. You have AIs coming up, apps are coming up, APIs are coming up. You don't know how to keep things happening. And that's what happens also. So I think so the main thing is something we have to understand that if you create these things, obviously there's dilution of character is going to happen. And human being has to understand. So if you see, sorry.
Can I actually, brother Amir, where do you think
connection?
Where do you think the fear of missing out comes from? Do you think that that's part of what society has been creating, and it's aided in the brokenness of the society that we're in?
Yeah, I think so. The better term for broken society is social media. Let's put that. Broken society would have not happened without social media, or social influence, or social monitoring. If you see now, everything is monitored by social media.
Yeah.
By a phone, right? So obviously, if you see somebody having a nice food, you see on social media, hey, this person was in my class, and I know that person is not so financially capable. I need to do anything to get onto that social media handle, so I can have a level, if not level up, but not level down also. to maintain that thing. And that becomes where you have the fear of missing out happening.
Yeah.
So when I deal with Gen Zs, right, or what you call the Gen Zs, or the generation which is born from 1985 till now, which is about 30 years, they are fully influenced now. They're fully influenced. Oh, I want to do this. I want to travel. I want to have a destination wedding. Fine, no issues. But is it sustainable for your thing? I think so. 20 years ago, the cost of living was food, clothing, and shelter. Basic things, right? Plus, you have your personal things. Presently, now, your cost of living is social media, right? You need to have a good you need to have a good phone. You need to have the best accounts. You need to have a best dress. You need to have all the subscription paid off. Netflix is number one. Like if somebody say, "Oh, please watch these 10 movies on Netflix,"
Yeah, and I know Italia. I know you too young to know about this, but back in the day, the only thing that we had was Robin Leach and the Life and Styles of the Rich and Famous. That was the only social media. That was the only social media that we had growing up was being able to see the to see it on TV and the intellectual or the programming that they gave to us versus now, like you were saying, with social media, you can see it 24/7, 365 from the top of the world to the bottom of the world and across and everywhere in between. And I think that's definitely aided to the brokenness in our society.
and just to add,
You know
when you're
what? Go
sorry,
ahead.
Atala, go ahead. Go ahead, Atala.
I just came to my mind, like for example, leading with character in parents, like sometimes when I'm coaching patients, not patients, I'm sorry, families, one of the most important things also how that father is leading. If you don't have character, you're gonna just let the kid do whatever he wants to do. But in reality, it's just like a call, like, hey, you need to have character to lead families, business, societies, nations, you name it. Yes.
Yeah. And the other one of the main, I'm not saying one of the main, but the other dilemma is patience and losing. Once you lose patience, you're gone. That's important. So I think so. What Dr. Mackenzie was saying, I think so. When you said the young and restless, I was just watching on social media the Santa Barbara and the Young, Bold and Beautiful. I'm sure you've heard this series, right? So that is to come once in a week or sometimes, and if you miss it, you miss it. You miss it, isn't it? So your schedule was fixed to that timings or any of the programs where you're watching the news and everything. Now there's nothing. You can watch anytime you want. You can download. Everything comes up. So people have no patience. Oh, I'll watch it later. So the family time was watching a movie, or watching a TV, or having a dinner sessions, or playing board games. Now I've seen people in a family putting on the phone, playing games on solo
Yep.
and different games. So when you tell them, can we play a game of chess? Like, no, I'm okay playing my whatever games it is. I'm watching my social media or I'm doing something, that's it. So I think so if you lose patience in life, and that's why, and because you don't have patience, that's why the greed, the need to level up goes high. Like traditionally, the parents used to tell the kids, guys, first you earn, first you earn, then you come to me.
Yeah, and I think you're on to something, brother Amir, because growing up, I grew up as a Seventh Day Adventist, and so part of the religion of Seventh Day Adventists from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, there was nothing, no TV. TV went off. You didn't you had to like as my mother used to tell us, go find a book, or we would have that family time that you're talking about. There was this specific time that you were to rest from the rigmarole of society, of the day to day that we have now. And even back then too, there was a certain time in Italia. Again, I think you might be I think you're the young one in here, but there was a time when the TV actually went off. It actually, you had this
That's true.
It actually went off. There was nothing on that you could watch but the signal being dead. And we've gotten away from that. And I think that's part of the broken society, is because as my mom says, we don't stop. We don't stop, and we don't take the time to rest. And even what you were talking about, family time. Yeah. Nowadays, full families sitting in a house full of people sitting at a table and everybody's on their phone
Yeah.
instead of talking to each other. And we've gotten away from that. And I think that's a big part of what you were saying, Brother Amir, about why society is broken like it is. And if we're going to heal and get away from that, or move away from that and get back to that time where we're effectively connecting and communicating, yeah, we got to turn the TV off. We got to put the cell phones down, and we've got to begin to talk to each other in a different manner. So I love that. I love that what you were saying.
There's sometimes we see the memes which is happening, just to add, right? So there's a mom who says, "Oh, if I want my family to come on the dining table, I should do only one thing: switch off the Wi-Fi. The moment the Wi-Fi is off, everybody will be at the table because the food is there." So as you just to add like that yes, it's important for people to understand. And now what we have seen, the young generations want to be independent, right? And the old generations are dependent.
True. So true.
Right?
Yes.
Because I hope, Dr. Maki, right? The thing is, the younger generations want to be independent, and the older generations are dependent, but they don't have anybody to be dependent on.
Awesome.
I'm not saying across
Which is
everything, but
true.
and that's why you say whole homes coming up. You see, there's lot of how you say burden on certain parts of the country or world. Society comes in isolation now, right? Because the moment they said, if the parents have reached a crisp age over 70, 75, the kids say, okay, now you go to the homes, we'll pay you the whatever it is, the house belongs to us and everything. So it's from independent to dependent. Actually, it should be the other way around. The young generation to be dependent on the elders or the parents or family members, and the older generation has to be independent because the families is looking after them, so they're not worried if they get up late. If they get up in the morning, there's somebody in the house to give them tea or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? The people around, and that's why this loneliness, this solitude, this aloneness is creating mental issues. And once you have mental issues, you try to do anything which will give you happiness, which is extremities, right? Because you see
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I wanted to say that this is the disconnection, because everybody's disconnected from not just each other, from ourselves, from our own, essence as a person, as a mother, as a woman, as a, entrepreneur. We are disconnected. We don't listen to our needs. We don't listen to our body. We don't listen to our true feelings and emotions. We ignore them. We overlap emotions over the years. So then we have here crises of people that are having, again, panic attacks, people who want to take away their lives, crisis, really like a lot of emotional, illnesses, because again, we do not connect with ourselves. You can see kids, disconnected from like love, from that tenderness, from that connection with mom or dad. I can see that in kids. You have teenagers always feeling like they don't know who they are, because of course they are building their identity, but also they are always comparing with others, somebody else. You have here beautiful women, and sometimes the woman doesn't know that they can have a very healthy relationship. They don't believe that. Lack of identity, lack of who am I? I'm disconnected. I have not been hearing, listening to myself, my true self. We have very strong leadership, but they haven't just covered a lot of pain also over the years. So they are leading, but they are leading from pain, not from the healing. You could see my very, positive person, but sometimes that positive has overlapped the true emotions, the sadness, sometimes the fear, all those things. So I think it's a call for kids, for teenagers, adults in general, you know. We are human that sometimes we have been blocking. That's why we have broken relationships too, and a broken society.
I love what you guys shared. I mean, I don't know, but like let me just mention something here. I love to be in the seat of like being a listener because I hear things between the lines, and you just shared a like huge or let me say a lot of gems that people can pick from it. And I have a lot of questions to ask, but I'll just narrow it down to one of them. For what you, Mr. Amir, said and what you, Atala, said, let me hear first from Mr. Amir. What's your advice for those who, like, regardless if we're talking about a family or society or organization, what would you say to these people who think of themselves that they don't have authority, they're not in a leadership position? Like, what can I do to contribute and you know, heal a broken society or heal a broken system? What's my contribution? These people who don't have confidence, these people who don't think that they are responsible, these people who say to themselves that I'm not authorized or I'm not a leader, what would you tell to these people? Like how can they contribute and how can they fix something broken?
Atala, maybe after you. It's both to us, right? Dr. Maki?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Go ahead, Atala.
Okay, I will say, like, first of all, really, like, be vulnerable with yourself. Vulnerable. Have a coffee 101 where you can see your wounds, but not from the pain. Also from the, you know, for the growth, from the purpose that you have. I will say also, like, listen to your body. Listen to your body when your body is screaming to be able to speak, to be visible, to share what you have been going through. From the vulnerability, because that's a strength. That's pure strength. And I will also suggest to just write your own stories, because you will see the gems that you said, you know, the power, but also again the purpose. And I think this is a process of kind of healing, because when we don't see the goal, the strength, the inner strength that we have, we become visible, we become broken, and we need to heal from inside.
So what are the top three things that they can do?
I think, you know, journaling for sure. Journaling, free journaling, not thinking, just whatever comes from the heart. I will also invite people to breathe. Again, the exercise about open their hearts, the hand into their heart, you know, start breathing, putting your other hand into your belly, and really, like, in 5 seconds you inhale, you know, then you hold for 5 seconds and you exhale in 7. 5, 5, 7. When you are inhaling, what are you inhaling? You know, maybe forgiveness, maybe love, maybe peace, maybe confidence, whatever your body is telling you and is screaming to you. And then you go and just visualize, you know, okay, a place where you feel connected, safe, happy. Mind goes everywhere, right? So we can instruct the mind to go where we want it to go, but coming with the connection of the emotion. And then just release that fear, that pain, that maybe, I don't know, you know, resentment, whatever, you know, you have been accumulated over the years, because the body never lies. And we know exactly when something is not quite right? So I would say that. And the last one would say, just look at your life story, you know, like from that perspective, different eyes. You turn your back, I mean, your eyes to the left or the right, you will see different. It's about perspective. So I would say these 3 things.
Thanks, Atala. So I think so. Let me add what Atala said. As she said, left and right. I would say look at top and bottom. So don't think you're at the bottom of the pyramid. The people below you who can be better, but they're not better. The people above you whom you think they're better, right? So a classic example is, and I keep giving, when you go to any good offices, what do you see? What makes you feel happy? The ambience, the cleanliness, right? Isn't it? Who
Right.
cleans the office? Who cleans the office? The CCO, the Chief Cleaning Officer. Sorry, that's why I give them a big word. So I tell cleaners, you are CCO. What is CCO? I've heard of CEO, CO, C. I said, you're CCO. You're the topmost person.
Nice.
The E, F, O comes later. You're C first. Is it what? I said, you're Chief Cleaning Officer. So the moment I enter office and it's dirty, you lose the whole track of it.
Mm.
So you are the first thing you see, oh, the office looks good, the lights are good, the lights are clean, and that is your excellence. I said, one day, just don't clean the office. They will start looking for you. If the CEO is not there, they can call him on the phone, they can do everything.
Love
But
it.
you can't do the work through the phone. And nobody can do the work. So you're a CCO. So CEO, FO, or whatever, everything, CFO, everything will come later. Or CIO, information officer, technology, C2, everything will come later. And that's the things I tell them, that the basic things are very critical in life. You
Mm.
can wear a smart dress, but if you have not cleaned yourself, you're done with it.
Awesome. You
Right?
reminded
So
me.
I think so
Yeah.
that's one thing, top and bottom. The other thing is try to create self-awareness, because everybody is not born the same. They
Mm.
are
Mm.
there's something across the ladder, right? If everybody is the same, there's a difference between equality and equity. So
Mm.
obviously there has to be there one. So don't ask for equality, look for equity. And I think so. This statement is a bit too. I hope it's not crossing the line. When you say character, the more the salary, the character, your morals are at stake.
Mm. We want this. We want this. I want you to elaborate on this. You have to.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you know nobody's going to pay you $1 million salary, what's in you,
Mm.
right? What I'm not just I'm just something which has been, I've done some professional education, which a lot of people have done. They've been more better than me, and that's it. So I'm not saying earning salary is bad, but what you given to get that salary.
Mm.
Presently, the data is at stake, and I'm sure there's a series on Netflix, social injustice something. I forgot the name on Netflix, right? People have resigned from that organization, the top big organization of data, right? Social dilemma, sorry, social dilemma. Thanks, I got it. Thanks. Social dilemma. People have resigned. Why? Because they have these things. Number one. Number two, I think so globally, whatever we post on the social media, that goes through a lot of security checks or something, right? You ask those people what they go through. They have mental issues. They've been paid well, but they cannot manage it because the mental issues have more challenges than the salary can. So I think so. Just in conclusion, these are some things you understand, and also they should create a self-awareness that it's limited time. It's not forever.
Awesome.
There have been rags to riches stories and riches to rags. So if you're still in the middle way, which is okay. And just to add, sorry, there's a difference between quality of life and standard of living.
Mm.
Quality of life is something you have content when you take care of your family, you're happy, you're character based, you go to a place of worship, be with your family. Standard of living is something where you're competing with people. So I think so that's something which creates competitive greed, lust. What do you have to say? Yeah.
Well,
Thanks.
thank you so much for everything that you have shared, Mr. Amir. I mean, it's
Thank
again
you.
a lot of gems. Like I don't know what to say. We're looking forward for the character-driven leadership to bring people like you, Mr. Amir, and share these kind of gems because we need to put these things out there. Uh,
Okay.
and I wish that we can go longer, but we have some time frame to stick for. But I need to
Yes.
also emphasize that we have something within the character-driven leadership called the leadership wall. And it's like you're in a coffee shop and now you had your coffee. Before you leave, you have to leave a note on the wall.
Yes.
So, what is the one thing or what is the note
that you can leave on the leadership wall that we can share with the audience and share with the guests that we are going to have, whether it's going to be on the Facebook group, on the YouTube channel, on our social media. I know you're not a fan of social media because social media is contributing to the system, breaking up the system, but we are trying to fix it through the information that we need to put out there. So what's your note?
This is the good part of social media. This is the good part of social media that we have out there to be able to utilize it.
But you know what I said? Actually, social media is creating issues. The social media has its own benefits. I'm not saying it's one way.
Yeah.
It's one way because it's created us to have a meeting across the things. But the thing is, I think so. That's a difficult one, but it's okay. My coffee still brings the third round. So I think so. On the lighter side, I said WTF. Where's the faith? On the lighter note, right? Where's the faith? Where you're having number one.
You are competing. I'm gonna stop you here. You are competing with me. I'm a person who works by creating frameworks. So now you are living by frameworks. This is you're competing with me. Go ahead.
Because I think so, Dr. Makki. You know what? People are living on acronyms now. When you even see the WhatsApp messages, you say LOL, okay, all the things, right? So I'm just saying, this is something where we understand. And I think that what I understand for WTF, where's the food? Sorry, I'm a foodie guy. So when my friend says, are you coming out as a WTF? He said, what? I said, where's the food? Then I'm coming out. Otherwise, I'm not coming out. So I think so. That's so I think so. As a wall, I would just a bit of, I think so, not cynical, not religious, but maybe, guys, there's end to everything. There's end to including life, right? And incidentally, your knowledge outlives your life. So if you share good knowledge, it creates generations, sustainable good generations. If it cannot give anything, your cause of it, and it might, your generation, your personal generation, might have consequences. So I think so. Before you thread that, the edge of the sword, the double-edged sword, try to understand that, yes, then think a couple of times, if not million times, before you walk the thread.
Awesome.
That's it. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. I mean, that was great. It was great to have you on the table with us, having your coffee or your tea or your water with us, and we hope that you enjoyed the stay. That's the most important.
It was excellent. I think so. Yeah, more than the coffee, I do some events which is copyrighted, coffee over conversations or conversations with coffee. I do so these things. So we have people from. Some people will just have a discussion chat, as we said, just having a formal chat, in casual chat, and we go. So that's something I really liked it, and I think so in this times where character is losing the word, character development. I think so. You're one few brave hearts who has managed to write this part, and I think so. Yes, I wish you all the best. God bless you all, and I think so. If you need me, I'm always there, and obviously we'll work more. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dr. Makki. Thanks, Leroy, and thank you, Atala.
It was a pleasure to listen to you, all the wisdom that you have, the experience, but also the heart. I can feel it, and that's why you can achieve and really reach people because you truly connect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Atala. Thanks, Dr. Mackenzie. Thanks, Dr. Makki. I appreciate that. Thank you, bye. Thanks, bye.
All right, that's it for this week's Table Talk Wednesdays. If this conversation sparks something for you, don't just scroll past it. We want you to share this with someone who leads or want to lead with character at the center. Also, we want you to drop your thoughts in the comments. Trust me, we read everyone. And if you believe that your voice could add something to this movement, don't hesitate to reach out. We will be back next Wednesday with another conversation that matters. Until then, lead with truth, lead with courage, and most of all, lead with character. Peace upon you.